together a kind of a slightly sort of collected version of dementia talk, just because I could talk about it for a long time, and obviously appreciate that, I want to try and do an hour or so and then some questions around this topic rather than keep you on it for a long time. Interesting actually there about how we think about our old dogs. I worked with a vet today actually who made a really lovely statement that I was like, this is very true. And she said, age is not a pathology, as in just because something, we can't just say age means that there must be something wrong. So I think that's a really nice saying, because we get very successful aging dogs and we can't always assume that all of them are going to be affected by age. But what we do know is dementia or cognitive dysfunction is quite a prominent thing that we see in both our dogs and our cats. Probably our dogs get presented for it more. But then if we look at something like arthritis, we certainly have more dogs being diagnosed for that than we do cats. So our poor old cats seem to be very good at hiding things. So just to run down what cognitive function is, and of course it's just that mental part within our brain that makes us aware of our surroundings, our perception and our remembering. That's why a lot of these animals forget things, and also just our thinking pattern. And as dogs age, so that senior part, and I should say cats, so I'm always saying dog. I've been doing so much dog things recently that I keep saying dog, but this applies to our cats. The senior section of an animal's life is usually classed as the last 25% of their predicted lifespan. Slightly easier, I guess, when we're looking at specific breeds of dog and cat. Slightly trickier when we're looking at crossbreeds to decide when they're in that older part of their life. But usually that last quarter of their years are their old age years. We categorise our pets into different types of ages. So we have successful, our mildly impaired, who are usually the ones with very mild symptoms of dementia, to our severely affected. And for me in clinic, I tend to see them more towards the severely affected because it's quite a confusing change, and I don't think people always appreciate that this is dementia. And if you go back years ago, we never really believed that dogs could suffer with a condition like dementia. I look at when I was at vet school, so that would have been, oh crikey, 22 years ago. And if I look at that time, probably a couple of years into my degree, we had a conversation around an owner that believed that their dog had dementia, and that was seen as being a bit silly. Like, why would they have dementia? So I think it's obviously always been there, but we've only started to respect it over the last sort of 10 years. And I think even now it's not always focused upon enough. So this is mainly designed for dogs, this questionnaire, but certainly can also be applied to cats. Now, this is a lovely resource for you to use as a pet owner, and also to use for others whose pets you look after and you think that perhaps actually there are symptoms of dementia there.